Why is it so important to have a harmonious, multi-channel fundraising system? I'm Chad Barger, and that's what we're talking about in this week's edition of the Productive Fundraising Weekly Journey. First off, it's raining. I'm stuck in my car. We're not in a fun park this week. As you can see, we are sitting in the lovely parking lot behind the Chipotle and the Starbucks as I wait for the rain to stop. But that's not going to stop us from doing the journey. We're in the car, but we're going to get it done. So this week, real simple. Why do we need to be harmonious and multi-channel? So let's look at those words first, one at a time. So harmonious, we want everything to work in harmony with each other. And multi-channel, we got to do everything. We can't just do direct mail. We can't just do online giving. The theory that online giving was going to kill direct mail, that was supposed to happen 10 years ago. They're still both alive and well. Direct mail still wins when they go head to head. But you got to do both. And you have to really kind of make them work together, make them look the same, make them feed off each other. And why? Well, let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you how I personally like to give. So I don't write checks, but I don't respond to email appeals. I get too much email. If you send me an email appeal, there's very little chance that I'm actually going to read it and respond to it. But what don't I get that much of anymore? I don't get that much mail. So you send me a letter in the mail, chances are I'll probably open it and read it, especially if you follow best practices and it doesn't really look like an appeal when I get it and I actually open the thing. I read it, I say, this makes sense, I want to do this. Then it's going to go to my bill box. Once I decide I'm going to do that, when I go to pay bills, like I said, I don't write checks. What am I going to do? I'm going to go to your website and make an online donation. But, chances are in those 2-3 weeks from when I said, yes, I want to do this to, it's time for me to actually do that. I might have forgotten the reason. Why am I doing this? What specific campaign? So if your website ties to your letter, they look the same, they're telling the same story, then I'm not going to get stuck and say, oh no, why am I doing this? It's going to be harmonious for me. It's going to be multi-channel. You can get my attention one way, I can respond the other. There are people that do the opposite. They like the email, they see that, but they write checks, they want it. You need to do everything. It needs to all work together. It needs to be harmonious. That's just one of the many key tips with direct mail. This week's free resource is our guide to 14 steps to supercharge your direct mail effort. So give that a download and take this step and a few others. So that's it, everybody. Thanks a lot. Have a great week. We'll see you next week for the Productive Fundraising Weekly Journey. I wonder if I should get a latte. Thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of the Productive Fundraising Weekly Journey. You can download the free resources mentioned in this episode at productivefundraising.com/fundraising-resources. That's productivefundraising.com/fundraising-resources. Head on over and give this week's content a download and check out the other great resources we have there for you. Also, be sure to join the Productive Fundraising exclusive Facebook group, the Fundraising Fish Fry. We're proud to sponsor this group where fundraisers come together to talk about what's working and what isn't in fundraising, because there are so many fundraising fish to fry. Ha ha ha. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next week. Happy fundraising.